How do we officiate restricted area plays in NCAA women's basketball? What are the rules? And more importantly, how do we officiate these plays as a crew? That's what we're going to cover right now. Stick around. Hey, it's Greg with thebetterofficial.com, where we craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating careers. If you're new here, the first order of business is to hit subscribe and the notification bell below, so you're the very first to be notified when we post new content. And during the season, that's going to occur 2 times a week. We're going to have 3 parts of our discussion today. The first part is an excerpt from the preseason video of a couple years ago, and June Courteau is going to go through some RA plays and proper mechanics, etc. And then we're going to go to an animated video, also produced by NCAA, which will diagram explicitly the LDB and aspects of RA plays. And then thirdly, we'll go to some plays from my games, and I'll talk about what we need to do as officials, as a crew, to get these plays right. All right, let's get started.
The restricted area is in effect when the player with the ball starts her move to the basket outside the LDB. The restricted area is not in effect when the player with the ball starts her move to the basket inside the LDB. A secondary defender is considered to be in the restricted area when any part of either foot is in or above this area. In all fast break situations, all defensive players are initially secondary defenders until they establish legal guarding position outside the RA. On this center side drive, 3 red beats her primary defender and charges into the secondary defender who is located in the restricted area to take a charge. The lead official calls the blocking foul and points to the RA. The center is responsible for the primary defender on the backside of this play. Great call and accurate signal. The highlighted secondary defender did not establish initial legal guarding position before her opponent left the floor. She is late on this play. Blocking is the correct call. The official displays the correct blocking signal, and even though the secondary defender is in the RA, the official correctly does not point to the RA. Remember, when you point to the RA, you are saying that the secondary defender is illegal only because she is in the RA. This secondary defender is illegal because she did not establish legal guarding position prior to the offensive player leaving the floor to shoot. Good call here. The highlighted secondary defender does not establish initial legal guarding position outside the RA when the illegal contact occurs. This is a blocking foul for being in the restricted area to take a charge when the illegal contact occurred. On this play, if the defender would have been outside the RA, this would have been a player control foul. It is important that we show the correct signal on these types of plays to communicate to our partners, players, coaches, and media why this is a blocking foul. When calling a blocking foul on a secondary defender because she was located in the restricted area on a play that originated outside the LDB, the calling official must sound the whistle and raise one hand, fist clenched, and show a blocking signal, then point to the RA. The highlighted offensive player receives the ball and makes her move to the basket inside the LDB. The RA is off. This is a straight-up block charge play. 50 Purple gets to the spot first and establishes initial legal guarding position. The offensive player charges into the legal defender. This is a player control foul. The lead referees the players in his primary area and has a great view of the defender and the offensive player. Accurate call and quality mechanics.
The lower defensive box, also referred to as the LDB, is an imaginary box on the floor that uses 4 marks, the 2 tick marks on the baseline, and both second lane space marks on the free throw lane as reference points. This box is used to determine a player control or blocking foul on a secondary defender located in the restricted area. When a player with the ball starts her move from within the LDB, there is no restricted area. Otherwise, when a player with the ball starts her move from outside the LDB, the restricted area rule is still in effect. Let's illustrate the rule first with plays that originate from outside the lower defensive box. White 34 is outside the LDB when she starts her move to the basket. She beats her primary defender and runs into a secondary defender who had established legal guarding position outside the restricted area. This is and always has been a player control foul on White 34 because Blue 10 had established a legal guarding position outside the restricted area. In this play, White 34 again is outside the LDB when she starts her move to the basket. She beats her primary defender and runs into a secondary defender who had established her initial guarding position inside the restricted area and remained in the restricted area. This is a blocking foul on Blue 10 because she established an initial guarding position in the restricted area on a player who was outside the LDB when she started her move to the basket. This has been the rule since 2011. Now let's look at plays that start from within the lower defensive box. White 50 has the ball inside the LDB when she starts her move to the basket. She beats her primary defender and runs into a secondary defender who has legally established an initial guarding position outside the restricted area. This is and always has been a player control foul on White 50 because Blue 44 had established a legal guarding position. In this play, White 50 has the ball inside the LDB when she starts her move to the basket. She beats her primary defender and runs into a secondary defender who has established an initial guarding position inside the restricted area. This is a player control foul on White 50 because she started her move to the basket from within the LDB and created the illegal contact on a legally established defender. A player is considered to be inside the LDB when either foot is on or within the box. White 50 is straddling the LDB when she starts her move to the basket. She beats her primary defender and runs into a secondary defender who legally established an initial guarding position inside the restricted area. This is a player control foul on White 50 because she started her move to the basket from within the LDB and created the illegal contact on a legally established defender.
All right, our place to start is the 2018 Camp Teaching Points. This will be our guidance, okay? Restricted area, LDB, help coverage. Yes? A, the primary official must first referee the legal guarding position of the secondary help defender, then pick up the line. So our most important thing as the calling official is to just judge the legal status of the player irregardless of the line. And then if we can perceive the line, then that's fantastic. But first we have to just make the judgment about the player's status, whether they have legal guarding position, irregardless of the line, and call the play on its merits. That's job number one. Problem is we've had officials with locking up brain cramp wise because they're in doubt. They're not sure of the feet. Their brain is ultra processing, and they end up making no call or the wrong call because they are tied in knots mentally. So here's our guidance. You are freed up from any responsibility of the line. Make the call. Call the play on its merits and let the crew help you get the call right. Help us get the call right. Dribble drive play that goes down the lane. Lead needs to be no nearer than the close down position to referee the legality of the secondary defender. That's their responsibility. Trail and center must position adjust to provide help when needed as to the location of the player with the ball. Did they start outside the LDB or inside the LDB? When they start outside the LDB, the RA is on. When they start inside the LDB, the RA is off. In addition, the center and trail need to be aware of the legality of the secondary help defender. Center and trail are responsible for having an opinion on whether the player was in the RA or not. All right, dribble drive to the basket that originates from the center. Just to review, lead has the primary coverage of the secondary defender. Okay, lead has that secondary defender all the way. The center has secondary coverage of that defender. Trail must position adjust 1 to 2 steps onto the floor and stay connected to the secondary help defender. As often, the trail will have the only open look to judge the legality of the secondary help defender. Okay? Trail needs to be engaged. The trail will provide help when needed as to the location of the player with the ball when she started her move to the basket, as well as the legality of the secondary help defender. Trail is not absolved. Center side drive, trail has the open look often as to where the position of the feet in the arc. Dribble drive originates on the strong side. Center and trail must position adjust to provide help when needed as to location of the player with the ball when she starts her move to the basket. Inside LDB, outside LDB, as well as the legality of the secondary help defender. Trail and center are responsible to have an open look on the defender's feet and see if they're in the RA. With the increased size of the restricted area, expect more plays in this area. Center and trail must be ready to execute LDB and RA help coverage. That cannot be any clearer. Center and trail must be ready to execute LDB and RA help coverage. There we have it. All right, crew rotates, great position. Secondary defender takes the charge, right? She's clearly in the RA. Again, what we try to do is, so this is a transition play. They could easily signal from here. We want to get in their path and communicate what we have. Partner, her left foot was in the arc. Make definitive statements. Right? Simple. We get the play right as a crew. This is a big success for us. Lead official could come with their biggest punch. Doesn't matter. We want to get plays right. In this situation, this is an RA play. We get it right. All right. Center official stays with the play. This is a pass and crash play. The arc is still in effect. Properly judges that the player was there, 2 feet on the floor, facing the opponent prior to the player going airborne. Makes the determination. The non-calling officials are responsible to know that the player was in the arc and relay that information. And that's what we do as a crew. So my main objective here is to get in the path of the calling official, right? We're going to make a change to this call. We want to get to it as soon as possible. So literally get into the path of where they want to go or what they want to communicate to. Say, hey, here I am, right? Once you are the calling official and another official is coming to you in this fashion, then start to process and say, okay, they obviously have information for me. Information is given. Correct procedure then is to crack, indicate, RA. Everybody knows what we have, right? It was a pass and crash situation, so we'd only be shooting if it was in the bonus. All right, that wraps it for this video on how to officiate restricted area plays in NCAA women's basketball. Now it's your turn. In the comments section below, add any questions or comments that you have, and try to include any tips that you've used, any approaches that you've used to ensure that you get these plays correct as a crew.